Power Rangers time!
Geekvolution!
Any episode they find!
Geekvolution!
Every single kind! Go, go, Cap and Jayson!
Go, go, Cap and Jayson! Go, go, Cap and Jayson! Geekvolution, Cap and Jayson! Hello everyone, I'm Jason.
And I'm Captain Logan.
And today, it's time for Go, Go, Cap and Jayson!
That's right. Jason, today we're going to watch something that you picked.
Mm-hmm.
Some Power Rangers in space. And it's an episode that, if I had seen, I didn't remember. Called TJ's Identity Crisis.
Yeah.
Tell us why you picked this one.
Because it's kind of funny that, the story, cause TJ loses his memory, and I love stuff where people
You like amnesia plots, huh?
Yeah.
And amnesia plots tend to drive me crazy. Your standard either someone isn't acting like themselves plot, or somebody forgets who they are plot, and we use that just as, much of the time, is just kind of a novel concept, kind of a fun status quo for 20 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever the length of an episode is, and then at the end of the day, everything's okay, and they didn't really learn anything about themselves, and it didn't really tell us anything about them, and that's a thing that we do a lot in shows like Smallville, and Star Trek has gone to these places, and really a lot of shows that I like have done that really kind of obvious standard somebody forgets who exactly they are episode. Power Rangers goes to it a lot. But Power Rangers is not a super character-driven show, so obviously I'm going to give it somewhat of a pass here. But I think it's really funny that you're like, oh man, I just love this idea that somebody would lose their memories. As you get older, you're going to find this over and over and over again. This is one of those standard episodes that we have to do in everything, like the Underground Fight Club episode.
Yeah. And this title is hilarious.
You think it's funny?
Yeah, I think it's funny.
It sounds a little bit more exciting than it ends up being. It sounds a lot more interesting. Oh, TJ's going to have an identity crisis. Oh, he's just going to have amnesia for about 15 minutes. Oh, okay. I think it's kind of odd that they felt the need to do this. And this is a Judd Lynn script. I think it's kind of odd that they felt the need to do this premise again right after we did a big two-parter that we played as Epic in Zeo with it. I say right after. Obviously, we had Turbo in between. But we did it with Tommy. Where the Machine Empire tried to make him think that he was evil, or that he was part of the Machine Empire, and that the Power Rangers were bad guys and they were good guys. Do you remember that?
Oh,
and
yeah.
he had to go up against Jayson, the Gold Ranger, and he was being manipulated by Prince Sprocket.
Yeah.
But there is one thing about this episode I liked a lot, and we'll get there as we're talking about it. But anything else you want to do to set this up before we get started, or should we just jump right into it?
Let's just jump right into it.
Here we go. If you want to watch it with us, it's Power Rangers in Space, episode 15. It's TJ's Identity Crisis. Make sure you're watching that episode, not some other episode, or this will be a very odd experience for you. And we're going to do our level best to provide a little bit of context about what we're talking about. If you want to watch this if you want to listen to this without watching it with us, but of course we encourage you to watch along with it. All of Power Rangers is still currently on Netflix if you have a Netflix account and you want to watch it along with us, or if you are a diehard Power Rangers fan and have bought the DVDs, you of course can watch it that way as well. Make sure to get it to timestamp 0 and get ready to press play when I say now. Are you ready, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Everybody please press play right now. Oh, we got a cold open. I had forgotten about that.
Wait, it doesn't open with the opening theme?
With the intro, right. And we will get the intro, but we do teaser first.
Oh.
Kind of part of the Star Trek-ness of the season, although I don't remember if Turbo did that. And I don't know if it does it every episode. I have not watched a lot of Space in a long time. We did go back and show this to your mom, or not this episode, but the pilot, because we were trying to, I probably talked about this on the channel before, but we were looking for a Power Rangers we thought your mom could get behind, because Sarah famously doesn't care for Power Rangers because she's bored with the human part. She just wants to get to the fighting and the Megazords and stuff.
Yeah.
But we showed her space, and she kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So we're basically on a holodeck here. We do your standard Star Trek opening, making you think that you're somewhere else. And if you don't know that they have a holodeck on the ship, you might be like, oh, did they go back to Earth? Where are they right now?
Yep.
And it's one of the many things that's very, very Voyager about this show. And obviously TNG too, but the ship, Jason, the corridors and things, it looks very based on Voyager to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Wavelengths. What are they even looking for?
There's Dark Honda.
There's Dark Honda.
I like to call him Dark Honda. You know, like he's an evil car.
Oh, yeah. He actually...
Like he's an evil Japanese-made...
Yeah,
Dark Honda.
Dark Honda.
I just call him Dark Honda. I always like this intro a lot.
Yep.
In space! Got some classic...
Fly!
some classic Wasserman.
Yeah. In space. I always like that intro.
I need to finally sit down and watch this front to back at some point. I've seen probably a third to half of it.
I was trying to find Zordon.
Right. They're trying to find Zordon, remember?
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of cool that we've got in online... Or, an ongoing show. We'll talk about something that has to go online later. That's hilarious. But it's amusing that, or it's cool, by the way. I should say that we are that we have a constant story here where we're going off trying to find something that's not just a standard kind of boring MacGuffin, where it's a character that, as much as you ever do in the show, you've come to care about what happens to Zordon.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something I was not expecting, Jason. Basically, this episode is the Voyager episode, and I'm not saying that Voyager necessarily inspired this, but it's basically the Voyager episode Tuvix with Ecliptor and Darkonda, where we combined them, except there's not any identity questions about it. It's just something that he does to get more power, and he wants to control Ecliptor.
Perhaps. He's like, perhaps. To find
Does he have a funny voice?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite bad guy character in the season?
I think it's either him or Ashrana.
Yeah. I've said this before. I've never been the biggest fan of her acting in the season. I just don't think she pulls off menacing quite right. But I like some of her lines in this episode. I think she's fun. Ecliptor, I think, is a great design, and something that's really interesting about the season that I don't know if you know this, Jason. Eric explained this to me at one point. Apparently, the Sentai that the season is based on is not space themed; it's video game themed, and that's why you've got a lot of like Tron looking stuff. And I'm sure that's why Ecliptor looks the way he does. But I think it all fits also pretty well with a space theme.
Yeah.
Advanced technology, digital stuff.
That means I really want to
watch that Sentai.
Yeah, watch Sentai.
So when they combine, I'm not sure why Darkonda is able to completely control Ecliptor, or why there's not more of a clash of identities. It would have been kind of neat. Maybe I'm expecting too much in a Power Rangers show at this period, especially in saying this, but especially in an episode that's about one of our Rangers having a quote-unquote identity crisis where he doesn't know who he is. It would have been cool if we also had two identities vying for dominance.
Yeah.
In this guy who is not exactly the opposite of what's happened, of course, to TJ, but this other identity problem of TJ has no identity at all, and these guys are dealing with having two that are clashing. But we don't really do that with it.
Did you know that Andrews actually has a mohawk? He has a mohawk.
He has a mohawk?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a mohawk in this.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a mohawk.
No, that's not what a mohawk is.
Oh.
He has a mullet.
Oh.
He has that long hair 90s look, but a mohawk is where you shave both sides of your head and you just have a streak of hair that you put up at the top. Andros doesn't have that. Into each other. This look is awesome. Dark Clipdor. One of those names that just doesn't work if you didn't know what the thing was in the first place. that shot right into his face is awesome.
Yeah.
Dark Clipdor.
Any uglier?
This is one of those places, and I say this almost every time, but I'm very curious to know what the story was in the Sentai that combines them, and if there's something a little bit more interesting about it.
Yeah.
But see, there's not really an explanation for this at all. It's just he's able to do this to combine, and he's completely taken over. He's not. He's only physically part Darkonda and part Ecliptor.
Yeah.
Mentally, he's entirely Darkonda.
Yeah. Darkonda.
Darkonda.
Eonda.
So for a minute here, it feels like the stakes are pretty high. I really like, and of course I'm sure this is Sentai footage, but I like the helmet crack. It looks rough. It's really funny though, because that helmet crack is what gives him amnesia. I mean, he's got a major injury, and he goes back to the ship, and there's nothing wrong with his head physically at all. He doesn't have any kind of a wound there.
Yeah.
That's how you know bad guys are evil, is when they just growl a lot.
Yeah. This part is weird.
Yep, it's just your standard freak out the audience with, oh no, he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
This is just one of those stories that is rarely very interesting. It can be done well, but it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why don't just tell a Dark Liptor the Blue Ranger doesn't know who he is anymore?
Well, I mean, how would that help you? By letting the bad guy know what's going on. I mean, that's you don't want to volunteer information to your enemy. That's not a great idea. So I guess there's just a cave here somewhere that he takes the Rangers into?
Yeah, it must be on that planet.
Maybe it's found a cave.
Maybe it's that cave that they were right next to.
Yep.
That's
really
not
weird. Exactly what was going on, is it?
Yeah.
Yep, he's lying to her. I like the relative intrigue we have this season with kind of the backstabbing with the villains, and we tried some of that stuff in Zeo with the Machine Empire, but it's handled better here.
Yeah,
he's actually a pretty good schemer for Power Rangers.
Yeah, I like Astronoma's look when she is in a cave. She's like her suit is like all white instead of all black, and it's kind of cool.
So I just recently went back and reviewed Galaxy Quest, and this bridge is very Galaxy Questy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't remember that because...
See, that's not a mohawk, Jason.
Yeah.
That's not what a mohawk is.
Yeah. I have a cousin with a mohawk.
So I have a question for you. If Andros, and this probably would have been too risky since he doesn't have his memories, and you probably don't want to let someone be a Power Ranger that you can't be sure has all the ideals of the Power Rangers intact, so I get why you wouldn't do this. But I'm just curious if because he tries to prove to him that he's a Power Ranger by showing him that he can morph, and Andros is going to morph. Mm-hmm. If he got TJ to morph, I wonder if a bunch of stuff would come back to him. Yeah. Or if, because so much of the powers of being a Power Ranger seems to be just the suit telling you how to do things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because anytime somebody first becomes a Power Ranger in pretty much every series, they know how to fight in a way that they couldn't before. They know how to use their weapons. They know how to use the Megazord. So he might still sort of be an effective Power Ranger, even if he doesn't have his memories of everything that's going on right now, as long as his moral center is still intact. And then if you were actually going to go here, I guess that would become kind of a nature versus nurture question. You know, is he naturally a good person, or does he need all those experiences and memories of them to inform him? But so I don't think that would have been a smart idea on Andros' part, but I wonder if he morphed, how much of it would come back to him. I think this whole basketball thing is silly, where the thing that will make everything come back to him is just the teaser. He remembers playing basketball with his friends this morning, and so now he's got all of his memories intact. I don't know, you'd think the formula of Power Rangers would maybe make things come back to him faster. Yeah. Because he's constantly having to do that.
Well, he found that basketball, and that's why it came back to him.
Right, but how come just looking at another Power Ranger didn't give him any memories at all? It's this, I guess, friendship is more powerful than anything thing, but also it's arbitrary. You could have played it the other way really easily. Oh, it's the friendship of having been through all these things with my friends as a Power Ranger. You could have easily played it that way also. Yeah. So it's silly.
Well, and what kind of name is Carlos?
Carlos? It's a Hispanic name. You haven't met anybody named Carlos? That's what kind of name it is. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a friend named Liliana. Now I know that's Hispanic.
Is that also Hispanic? Is she from, or her parents from Mexico?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why, is he the only one who has that picture, or does everybody have that same picture? That's my question.
So, am I remembering this correctly? And I'm asking the audience because I asked you about this earlier, but I seem to recall the Rangers. It seems like basketball is a thing that comes up in this a lot. Maybe I'm just remembering one scene. I don't know, but I seem to remember them playing basketball on deck where they had a hoop set up somewhere, and so sometimes they do the holodeck thing and sometimes they don't. And I don't know if they use the holodeck for anything else.
Yeah. Why is it always 335?
I don't know. I'm sure that's a Sentai thing.
Yeah.
You think maybe they would each have different codes?
Yeah.
And if you have the code, can you morph if you don't have whatever their equivalent of a power coin is? Because it's weird that it's numbers, right? What is the point of having a numeric keypad if you can only morph if you're the only person that can use your morpher anyway? That's always a question I have.
It's
his sword is awesome.
It's good for if someone tries to become a Power Ranger.
But that's what I'm saying is if someone else can't use your morpher anyway because it's coded to you or whatever, which is usually what we do. Mm-hmm. Then they couldn't use it anyway. It wouldn't matter if they had the password or not. There's kind of no reason for a password if you have something that's customized to you and no one else.
Oh. Yeah, you're right.
This is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
I'm remembering all these people underneath their helmets. This must be what they all look like under their helmets.
Yeah. That's
so I guess
weird.
When you remorph, any damage to your costume is fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't have the crack in his helmet anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
But yeah, you see the circuitry that they've kind of built into the top of the helmet? I'm sure that has something to do with the fact that they're supposed to be like digital video game Rangers in the Sentai.
Yeah.
So while we were watching this earlier, Jason, you asked me how he got the spiral saber. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? That's it looked like Andros just handed it to him.
Oh, okay.
So he gave him both weapons. That's kind of fun. We don't do that very much at all, where we let other Rangers use someone else's weapon.
Yeah.
But in this case, it makes a lot of sense. So he's going to explode, or he's going to explode here in a minute. I guess he's not going to explode. Sorry, he's going to turn into the two characters again, and then again, because Darkonda has been in charge the whole time, he's going to say, "I was invincible. How did this happen to me?" And then he's going to grow and combine again. And I wish maybe they were just at the mercy of the Sentai footage, but it would have made a lot more sense if he just grew while he was still connected to Ecliptor.
Yeah.
Instead of being separated again. Because they're acting like he's so much more powerful together.
Yeah.
But now he's going to grow, they're going to fight him, they're going to beat him way too easily.
Yeah.
And their being combined is kind of not going to matter at all.
Yeah, get off.
I love saddle lasers.
Clean.
That's pretty great.
I like that line.
Saddle lasers of pure love.
Pure love?
Yeah, it was a TBG reference. Sapphire bullets. Sapphire bullets of pure love. I did that for your benefit, Jason. I don't expect anybody else listening to this is going to have any idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Is it really a TBG reference?
Yeah, Sapphire bullets of pure love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, what I just did was moving right along. Okay, so wait for it, everybody, because we're going to have a list of weapons that are coming online, and here in a minute, this will be online.
That's weird.
I love that. It's hysterical.
Why?
What do you think of this Megazord? Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Why? I forgot. Yeah. Why is it Gyro Blasters?
This online. Because it sounds spacey.
Oh.
If the theme was Greek food, they'd be Euro Blasters.
Ha ha. No, if it was
Sometimes your sarcastic laughs are totally fair.
If it was German money, it would be Euro Blasters.
Well done.
Green friend.
I kind of wish we'd done the combination thing longer and kind of had some fun with it. I think they could have been combined for a few episodes. That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
If they had access to that costume. I mean, if they're at the mercy of Sentai footage, it's hard not to make this point constantly. Sometimes things get lame just because we can't keep going with something, or we're stuck with the footage we have.
Equal.
Why is that funny?
Well, he was chuckling.
Oh, you're just laughing like he's laughing? Yeah. But yeah, I like, I do like some, like I said earlier, some of the intrigue and infighting and power struggle stuff going on with the villains there.
Yeah.
And that her solution is to put them both on par with each other.
Deca must be a video game thing.
Which is totally fair because, well, I mean, she's it's a ship. Yeah, I don't know how the ship integrates that in that show.
Yeah.
But as I've said before, I'm not sure how much. Some things I don't know if they're ours or theirs.
Yeah.
So that's hilarious. He pretends like he still has amnesia. Okay, that freeze frame is ridiculous. It freeze frames and there's still somebody's hand like in the corner. It's the worst freeze frame I've probably ever seen in a Power Rangers episode.
It's a woman. That's hilarious.
Why is that hilarious?
Because it's a woman instead of Andros saying it.
That's how we shoot that kind of stuff a lot. Where if he's not there, it's just someone offset reading the script. Yeah. So apparently, we were just watching the outtakes. Apparently, sticking your tongue out is what you do in Power Rangers instead of swearing because you're making a kid's show, so you're not. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's silly that or kind of, I don't know. It's kind of wrong of his friends to like sort of take advantage of the fact that he has amnesia if they think he still has amnesia, because they're like, oh good, he doesn't remember basketball, we're gonna cream him. Like, what? And then but he's cool with it because he's trying to take advantage of the fact that they think that. But I just think that's hilarious. Anyway,
it is hilarious.
Well, Jayson, thanks for picking that one.
Yeah.
I'm not real into the amnesia plot, but I like the combination thing. The Ecliptor and Darkonda thing. Darkliptor. Darkliptor. Jayson, I'm not sure what I'm going to pick next time. I am kind of back and forth between a couple of things. I think it's probably going to be a pilot. Okay. I'm thinking about a couple of first episodes, because we haven't done one of those yet. And I'm noodling between one that I want to watch because I haven't seen it in a long time and I don't know if I've ever seen all of it. And I'm also thinking about maybe doing, and I won't tell you which one that is yet, but I'm also thinking about maybe doing the first episode of the new one of Ninja Steel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, everybody, thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you again next week. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Jayson.
Thanks for listening, folks. See you next time.